is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. Here's on this Sunday morning with another edition of Talking Sports Sunday. Thrillers all over college football yesterday. Some serious bangers. We also got some NFL news and games we want to talk about. I'm here this morning with my man T1. He got
What
on
it
a
do?
jersey. He probably got on a Bengals hat. How you feeling this morning, my brother?
Hey, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. Beautiful football yesterday. Looking for some more today. Man, let's go. I know you got them ready today, this morning, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, bro, man. I'm excited to be here, man, this morning. And after what we witnessed yesterday, man, as football fans, to be able to see all that great football, man. We was in heaven yesterday, bro. We was
Yeah,
in.
we was. We
We
was.
also got our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. You see, he got probably 12 cups of coffee sitting in front of him because this guy works more than anybody I know.
Yes,
Any
he
shit
does.
you got out there, he gonna get it in. How you feeling this morning, Mossberg?
Feeling pretty good, man. It's good to see everybody. I know everybody thought I was on a hiatus since my boys took that L the other night, but I just been, like you said, man, grinding and just trying to position things differently, man. It's a new season, and I just definitely want to make sure I'm tackling this new season right, and it become some obstacles that come in a way that you kind of push out of the way and getting prepared for that new season. City League TV, I appreciate your positivity every morning because I lock into that, and that definitely sets the tone for the day. You probably post messages, and even when I see posting, so I always kind of try to stay into things in a different light. And like I said, new season, new things going. And I was just great to get up and be able to get on this morning because I was supposed to be working, and I said, not today, man. I got to see the guys. It's all about y'all today and what we do here for sure.
That's right. Hey, Mo B, and you know I needed to see your face. I needed to make sure. I needed confirmation that my guy was all right. Cause
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
you know, you was up there. You was up there in the clouds. You was up there in the clouds, man. And them boys. Hey, but just like this whole weekend was, man, they was in a banger, man, and it just continued for the week with these bangers, man. So, Rob, let's get it, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
before
sir.
we get into yesterday's actions, are there any positives you can take from that game on Friday night, Mossberg, with your Florida State Seminoles?
The one thing, man, last year to this year, we would have probably got 60 beans dropped on us. We kept fighting. We kept fighting, and I'm satisfied with the way we ended the game, even though we lost. Just to continue to fight, and the positives is that we can prepare for the next game. We was able to see what things we really need to work on. Sometimes when you take a loss to a team and the way they ran against us, we can go check on some things that we need to, prepare for in this coming rivalry we got with Miami this weekend at home. So, it was a good loss. I think it humbled us. As Zay was talking about, a lot of people talked about we needed to be humble, but I think it was in a good way. So it's not the last time y'all see Florida State. It'll be in the playoff and possibly even more. So my talk is not going to stop. It's still Nose Nation, swagger, bounce back 25, and it don't stop, as the big great would always say.
Hey, and like you said, Moss, y'all got Miami, man.
Yeah.
Y'all stuff could come to an end next week.
I have other plans in Doak Campbell. New facility, all the alumni that's gonna be there. I picture Samari Rowe, you had the Rashad Green inductee, you had Jameis Winston. I mean, I think the whole collective SSU alumni is gonna be there for this one. I'm talking it's gonna be loaded, it's packed. I think we're gonna be ready, man. I think in a little bit we was looking just a hair maybe, towards that. But I think, like I said, it humbled us and it got us ready and let us know where we at. And I think we lost to a great Virginia team. shout out to Virginia and what they brought to the table, because that's a tough team, and history repeats itself. As we talk about, history can't repeat itself, and we seen it happen yesterday. So, I mean, Friday night. So, shout out to that Virginia team and Hurricane Week. Seminoles, let's go. Nose Nation, we back at it. Sunday preparation with the family, and Monday back to work.
So you saying that 3-1 Virginia team was great, huh? Unranked. Great.
I'm not
All
going.
right,
I'm
Moss. Hey,
I'm
Moss.
gonna say this about Virginia. Virginia is
No, they're great, bro. We're going to leave it there. They're great. We'll see them in the playoff.
Is Mississippi State great? I felt that 4-1. There's a lot of talk about the 4-1 teams, man. There's a lot of good ones, and it's a lot that we don't know about.
All right. Well, let's get into yesterday's action, man. We had a really good game yesterday. We thought Indiana was probably going to bust up Iowa because Iowa's defense wasn't playing that great, giving up 28 points to Rutgers. And Indiana hanging a 63 burger on Illinois last week. The score was number 11, Indiana 20, Iowa 15. What's your thoughts on that game, man? Is Iowa as good as that showed yesterday?
Hey, this is your typical Big Ten game. This is your typical Big Ten football game. You know, it's smash mouth. You know, it's good defense, it's good offense, and then it's a low-scoring game. It's not just throwing the ball all over the place and the QB throwing for 300, and you also got a 100-yard running back. It don't work like that in the Big Ten, and this right here was just a great Big Ten game. Iowa is a solid team. You know, at the beginning of the season, when we were going through the schedules and everybody's looking at the Big Ten like Big Ten don't, yeah, cupcakes all the way. No, you have to fight in the Big Ten. Unranked Iowa, you're going to have to fight them. Unranked Washington, you're going to have to fight them. It's a Big Ten game. And yes, I thought that Indiana was going to put it on them, but Iowa said no. We play Big Ten football here. I know they're not happy with the loss, and I know they're not taking any type of moral victories. They probably feel like they could have won that game. So that's what they can get moving forward, and just have something to build off of with that loss that they took to Indiana, because I thought Indiana was going to blow them out.
Same way with me. For me, watching Iowa lose this one in the way they did, I mean, Iowa, the only game they lost big was they beat UMass 47-7, 38-28 to Rutgers. They lose this one to Indiana, and they lost the close game to Iowa State. People, like you said, T1, the Big Ten, they're going to fight. I think Iowa is a team that they right there, man. Like, they can actually get a big win this season, I think, against someone, because the way they play. But this is another Indiana team. We thought that we wasn't for sure what they would do. You said the 63 burger they got last week, and then to come out and get a tight win like this, I think Indiana is letting people know we still Indiana. Last season was not no fluke. You know, this is a game in the Big Ten that's about it. And they came out on top and, you know, can push forward through the rest of the season. And I think they have a favorable schedule that we talked about. I'm not 100% sure, but this Indiana team is, once again, making noise in the Big Ten. And I think it's something that we really need to watch, seeing as we're going to get to another game to talk about as well. But kudos to Indiana pulling out that big win for sure.
Hey, we're going to really find out about Indiana, too. They have Oregon coming up next.
Yeah.
They have Oregon next, so we're going to find out real soon about both of these teams.
Is that one at Oregon or at Indiana? At home at Indiana?
It's at Oregon.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah, it's at Oregon.
Yeah, one thing I realized about yesterday's games, man, is that whenever you got to go on the road, I don't care what your ranking is, and you got to go on the road against a very good program, you're gonna be in a dogfight. Indiana was in a dogfight. yesterday. Iowa had the lead in the fourth quarter, but that showed how resilient Indiana was to be able to get that final score to take the lead and win that game yesterday. So both kudos to both of those teams. Indiana overcoming that adversity, giving up the lead, and Iowa having a chance to seal the victory, but Indiana rolling back and getting the touchdown to go ahead and steal that game from Iowa. But both of these teams played really, really good defense. We didn't get the offense that we probably thought we was going to get out of Indiana, but we did get to see Indiana face adversity, needing a touchdown to win, and going out there and getting it. So kudos to both of those teams. And I think T1, you're exactly right. We will really know what Indiana is when they face that Oregon team. The next one we had on the slate didn't fare so well. Arkansas got thumped by number 22 Notre Dame, 56-13. And if y'all got a chance to watch this game, it really looked like Notre Dame was out there playing against some high school kids, man. I know you guys have seen games where teams are just so overmatched by the skill level on the other team. It was like they were out there playing with Arkansas, man. Like, it was embarrassing to look at. And I think Sam Pittman should be on notice right now as Arkansas's coach that it's probably time to move on from him. What's your thoughts on that 56-13 thumping of Arkansas by Notre Dame?
That was definitely a layer, man. Post game, shout out to you, Irish. Like you said, when I seen Jeremiah Love get the screen pass, and he could have waited another 5 seconds, it seemed like, to even make a move, and he just waltzed in the end zone. Like, he chilled on the sideline as he was going. So, it's something to look at, and especially after Arkansas played a great game last weekend. I was surprised, but then again, is this the Notre Dame that we've come to see? Even though it's against the Arkansas team, it was on the road, and that defense of Notre Dame, this is what we've been waiting to see. That defense played lights out, fast, all over the place, but then seeing Jeremiah Love and seeing that quarterback, Notre Dame, I mean, respectfully, they were they at for a reason. They still a problem, in my opinion. If they could win out, they're a top 2-loss team. I mean, they was in a playoff, then get to the championship last year for no reason. Early season struggles could become a success for them as the season goes.
I mean, the only thing I could think of as I was watching that game, and then the final score was SEC. SEC, like Rob just like he enjoys that SEC chant. He's embraced that SEC chant, and I'm just looking like this is a mid-level SEC team right here. Like, what's going on? What's going on right here? Wow! And I know post game proud of that QB, man. That QB was. Hey, he was looking like he was practicing. It was just looking like practice, and he looked great. I mean, they looked great. Like Rob said, they was playing against, Ivy League team or something. I don't know, but if that's what the SEC is putting out here as a product, man.
Let's bring in our man SEC Sean to the show. We're discussing Notre Dame, Arkansas, that 56-13 beat down that Arkansas took. What's your thoughts on that game? And do you think Notre Dame's defense looked better than what they had the first couple of games this season?
Well, for sure the defense looked better. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Arkansas. They're just not good. There's a couple of plays. I want to say Price had a touchdown, and it looked like he ran by all 11 Arkansas defenders, and nobody put a hand on him. I don't understand that at all. Love's a great running back. They're both great running backs, but I mean, I don't know. Arkansas just, I'm assuming the Sam Pittman era is fixing to come to a crashing halt. Arkansas is not, I don't know. They're hard to get a finger on. They look really good on offense sometimes. They look like they don't have any clue what they're doing on defense. They didn't look good at all yesterday, offense or defense. But I'll say a lot of that, I think, has to do with Notre Dame's defense has improved.
Yeah,
Hey, that coach only been there a couple years, right?
Do what?
That coach hasn't been there at Arkansas that long, has he? How long is it?
Yeah, I mean, he's
he's
6
been
years.
there for about 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, his overall record is 32 and 34.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's
Yeah,
bad. It's probably time to go.
yeah. I mean,
Even though I like Arkansas a little bit.
You're gonna have a
It is
lot of
part of
openings in the SEC by the end of the year, or at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you all
Three
gonna have
coaches.
a lot of openings in the SEC at some point. So I think Arkansas, we all know that once the season was over, they got beat up in the portal. They got a lot of their players either graduated or a couple of them went on to the NFL, but they got teams just picked them apart, man, in the portal. Their guys jumped in there because those guys want to go to a scooter where they know they can win. I was surprised I was able to keep Taylor Green. I thought for sure he was going to jump in the portal as well, but he stayed their quarterback. And he looked good going in those first two drives, man. It looked like they was going to be able to make some things happen, but Notre Dame was able to shut their water off, and they weren't able to do much else. Their defense, as Parlay Post said earlier, their defense is horrible. And they got an SEC slate where you're going to see some more of this 56-13 if that defense can't stop anybody, because they're a bottom dweller in the Big 12. They're not the middle of the pack, as my man T1 said. They're not the middle of the pack SEC team. They don't have the time.
I know Arkansas has won some big games.
They have won
I
some
know
big-
that. I know that much.
They have won some
Like
big
I
games.
say, I follow Arkansas a little bit.
Yeah,
I got a little bit of Arkansas in me. Pause or whatever they say you're supposed to say, whatever.
I still ain't grasped that terminology yet, man.
Yeah, I ain't either. Like I don't even like. I'm just like,
Man, we grown men. We know what the business is, man.
you're right.
For sure.
I just
What-
don't want nobody to try to take my stuff and chop it up.
Right. Let's look at this comment real quick, and then we'll go to the next game. Parlay Post said no pause.
No pause.
Yeah, no pause for sure. What did y'all think about 21 USC going into Illinois, playing a really, really good game, but Illinois prevails 34-32 in this game? I thought Illinois really was doing whatever they wanted to do, and USC was able to make a run at them. What y'all think about that game? And there was another classic game of you at home, but teams are going to come and play well, and it's going to be hard to beat at home. And Illinois was able to do that after getting beat down last week by Indiana. What's your thoughts on that game?
Just a way to bounce back. Way to bounce back for Illinois, getting a big win. This was just another Big Ten banger. Both teams having a great season. I think there's going to be questions for USC, of course. People going to ask and with them losing, but I think for both teams it was a good showing, but a bigger win for Illinois to stay, atop of the race for the Big Ten. Seeing Altmaier, be that senior leader for them in a way, like you said, Illinois is a very good team. We talked about them earlier in the season. Had high expectations of them, and maybe they just got caught lacking last week. They wasn't up for it, and sometimes you see that in the week after. I don't know, but it was just a great game. Good win for Illinois as well.
You can go ahead, SEC.
I think it was needed for Illinois after getting just beat down with Indiana. My biggest takeaway from this is, does this hurt Notre Dame? That takes the only ranked team on their schedule out now. So, I think if Notre Dame wins out, you got to put them in. If they go 10-2 and their only 2 losses are the 2 top 10 teams by 4 combined points, I don't think you leave a Notre Dame team out. But what's the committee going to say about the strength of schedule? Because their strength of schedule, besides those 2, is not good. But I just think Illinois made the plays that they had to make, and that's one of those games that if Illinois loses, I think it derails their whole season. You got all this hype, you're top, and then all of a sudden you get blown out, then you lose another game at home, and I think it could have been a game that could have, turned their tide. But I think now they feel like they're back on track.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You wanted to go before I went, Rob?
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go last since it's a Big Ten school.
Right.
Last. The thing that concerns me, man, with this USC team is Riley Leonard. Whatever their coach's name is, Lincoln Riley has been there for 4 years now, and their defense has not gotten to where it needs to get. Being out there on the West Coast, having money, why is their defense still not up to par? You're coming to the Big Ten, bro. You got to get your trenches together. You can't be losing as a USC team. You can't be losing to teams like Illinois, who is not Ohio State, who's not Michigan, who's not Oregon. You can't be losing to teams like this, man, in the Big Ten. You can't afford to get beat up in the trenches the way they got beat up in the trenches yesterday by this Illinois team. They got to be able to compete with them. Otherwise, they're going to be middle of the pack in the Big Ten like they started to be in the Pac-12. And they got to get that thing fixed. Hats off to Illinois bouncing back from that loss they took last week. They played really, really gritty. I thought they dominated the game for the most part. Just USC was able to make a run at the end, which we know was going to happen in football, especially when you got a really good offensive mind like Lincoln Riley. But USC got to get that thing fixed, man, because college football is better when USC is good, and they need to get it together, man.
Hey, they just haven't arrived in the Big Ten yet. Oregon has, USC hasn't. USC could get away with that in the Pac-12 and be successful and have some great seasons. But coming in here to the Big Ten, that's not going to cut it. Like y'all say, they have to get a little bit more meaner in them trenches, so they just haven't arrived just yet. But I don't think that they should knock USC out of the top 25. I'm actually basically just swapping USC and Illinois, even if I have to put USC at 25 instead of 23. I see that more of a swap, and hopefully we can start getting some respect in the Big Ten with the type of football that's being played here in the Midwest. But now on the East and West Coast, man, we really taking this thing over. But this was a not your typical Big Ten game. It was more of a Pac-10 style game, with the high scoring. But I don't think you take USC out the top 25 at 4-1. I think they're still there, and you have Illinois. They're still there. They move up a little bit. Good bounce back game for Illinois, just to let everybody know, hey, we're still competing to try to get that playoff spot that we feel like we should have had last year. You know what I mean? So Illinois, they still banging, and I think they still are trying to say we're fighting for a chance to get into the playoff as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would just flip them too. I would move USC to 23 and put Illinois at 21 in that AP poll. I would do the same thing.
They only have, but you can't say only, because it's some good football being played here in the Big Ten. But You know, their toughest, if you just look at it now, is just Ohio State and Washington. But they still have to go to a Purdue, and they still got to play Maryland and Rutgers, and Northwestern and Wisconsin, who's gonna play them tough. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What did y'all think about this game with LSU and number 4 LSU and number 13 Ole Miss? Ole Miss prevailed in this game, 24-19. LSU's their offense, man, it has not looked good for them. What's going now? The defense was solid enough, but you still can't give up 24 points to a backup quarterback, which I think is probably going to keep that job at Ole Miss. What's your thoughts on that game? Number 4 LSU 19, number 13 Ole Miss 24.
LSU ain't really that good. You know, just to pump up, and maybe Ole Miss may be a little better than some people thought. So we go again with one of them little switch arounds. They're one of them little switcheroos where, you know, go ahead and just swap them out. Go ahead and drop LSU about down there to that. Of course, you know, they're going to try to keep LSU somewhere around that top 10. So LSU will probably come in at 12. I don't know if they'll put them all the way down at 13. They'll probably come in at 12 or 11 or something. But, yeah, just swap them out. And, yeah, that LSU offense is something's wrong there. Something big is wrong there. And they need to get it fixed and get it fixed quick, or they're going to have some problems moving forward here in that mighty, mighty, mighty SEC.
I agree. Just thinking about LSU, after they won their first week, the big game, and then we come to this game and they lose at Ole Miss. I think last year they lost. Was it? I don't know if it was in LSU or if it was at Ole Miss. They got that big loss. This LSU team is not what I thought it was. Offensively, I thought they would be a lot better having that senior leadership with Deuce. He's still one of my guys, but I just don't think LSU's offense has found any stride yet. They're a little young, but they need to make some things happen. The defense is showing great flashes, but you have to have your offense putting up points in this SEC in key times this year, and they wasn't able to do that. And like you said, City League, this Ole Miss team might have put the world on notice with this one. They just might have before they go into this SEC play. So, I mean, being undefeated right now, as you go into your conference play, kudos to you and what you do, especially in that SEC, because they got some gauntlets that they got to face a lot of these teams as they go through. So, man, this Ole Miss, this could have been probably one of the biggest wins this weekend as far as outside that Florida State game, because I think this is going to have a lot of chips determined in this SEC as well.
Did you already go, Sean? SEC, Sean?
No, I was looking up stuff, looking up schedules.
Okay, go ahead and do that. I'll go while you do
No,
that.
I'm good. I mean, I'm ready. It's cool. I was just seeing what LSU had coming up in Ole Miss and seeing what their schedules look like. LSU has no offense. They can't run the ball. They can't run the ball. And the defense, okay, yeah, the defense looks decent. You're still giving up over 300 yards passing to, I guess, at the beginning of the year was the backup quarterback. Now the kid's proven he can play, you know. So, but that LSU offense, I mean, Nussmeier, you're guaranteed one pick a game from him. He's thrown. I'd almost say he probably averages one pick a game. So you're going to get one from him. He's not the most agile to run around and make plays. I just think until they can figure out how to get the running game going to open up that pack, because they got receivers. If they can't get the running game going, though, LSU is going to be probably a very going to be what we would consider an overrated team at the beginning of the year. I mean, they were number 4 in the nation, and they didn't look like it.
They didn't. Not even close.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday about LSU, man, and the fact that their offense has not been able to do much, and the fact that we felt like Nussmeier was nursing an injury, which we found out that he has something going on in his abdomen, to where he hasn't really been able to spin the ball like we expected him to do. But that shouldn't have any effect on your running game. They are not able to run the football at all uh, in a manner in which we expect LSU to be able to run the football. Their defense, I thought, played really well until they just ran out of gas because the offense couldn't do anything. And you can't put your defense out there countless times and think that they're gonna be able to compete like they did in the first few quarters. LSU got to get that thing fixed. And as our man KT said, it might be time for Brian Kelly to go. You can't have a letdown in a game like this against Ole Miss, a game that talent-wise, you would think that they would have been able to win, but they didn't pull out that victory. I don't know how far they're going to fall, but do you think they fall out of the top 10?
No, I don't. I think they fall maybe 10, maybe 9. There's a lot of teams in the top 10. I mean, there was a lot of teams that lost.
Yeah.
How far do you drop Penn State? How far do you drop, Florida State was up there. How far do you drop, LSU? I mean, there was just a lot of ones. So I don't think they fall out of the top 10. I think they slot in at 10.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
question.
that's what helped them. So many top 10 teams lost. Like a lot. Georgia.
I think when you look at the top 10 teams that lost, yeah.
Georgia.
I think you question yourself, is Georgia better than LSU? Is Penn State better than LSU? That's going to be the question. And I think respectively, LSU has to drop lower than Penn State and Georgia, respectively, at least. But Noose being hurt, that's going to affect that ranking as well. I think, if that come out before them rankings come out, they're going to drop LSU even lower. Going into another week with no Noose and you about to start a gauntlet at SEC, that's going to be tough. Brian Kelly, as KT said, there's a couple of coaches I got on my sheet that I'm looking at this SEC. This SEC is getting hot with these coaches on this hot seat.
Yeah, for sure. LSU was on the road, and of course, those other teams that lost in the top outside of Florida State were at home, and they lost at home. So maybe that might help LSU as well, not to fall so far since they was on the road. What did y'all think about Ohio State's first road test going out there to Washington? They won that game 24-6. It looked like a really, really good defensive game until, of course, Ohio State started to pull away, and their defense really started to stymie Washington when Washington got in the scoring zone. So kudos to that Ohio State defense and what they was able to do to hold Washington to 6 points. Ohio State gets the victory 24-6. What's your thoughts on that game?
Typical Ohio State game. Defense. The Ohio State defense. I mean, everybody, and I'm one of them, I talk about LSU's defense and Florida's defense and all the Texas defense being good. That Ohio State defense just, they don't give you anything. You get down into the red zone. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll have to research this, I think they have not given up a touchdown in the red zone this year.
No.
I think that's correct. That
is correct.
And you're holding teams to field goals, and you go down and get a touchdown, you're 4-point swing. So I mean, I just think that Ohio State defense doesn't get the credit that it probably deserves because everybody's so used to that high-flying offense. But that's just a methodical, run it down your throat, pound you, throw it out wide when we can, and then you're not going to get more than 10 points on us. It's just a really, really, really scary team right now. They look like they got the team that can run it back to back.
I like you, SEC Sean. I'm starting to like you, man.
I'm a realist.
You're growing on me, man. You're growing on me. I'm kind of liking what I'm hearing, man. Come on, man. Let's go.
I'm an SEC guy, but I know good ball when I see good ball.
Like that. I like that. You need to talk to that other Texas cat.
For me,
We don't have a lot to talk about come the last week of November.
I can't wait till y'all play. I'm rooting for you. I hope y'all I hope y'all tear their horns off and they turn upside down and one of them get chipped and just cause an infection in the horn that goes down to his brain and just start doing all type of crazy stuff. Not gonna.
This was a great game for me actually to watch. First road test, Ohio State really looked like Sean B said, man, SEC Sean said, man, they look like they could run this thing back better and better by the week. This Ohio State team is scary, and when they brought up the stat about Smitty not doing this, I'm like, man, that's Smitty from O Block. He gonna get him one, and he got one on that third down, and I said, it's on. And I said that it would start like this, and Ohio State would break away in that second half. Shout out to that defense. But let me speak on that freshman QB, Drew saying. I don't think a lot of people really pays attention to what he does with that football. I watched him yesterday. The way he feels the pressure, his mechanics, it's a lot of things that year one and year three, I will love to see how this kid is doing because he's going to be a special quarterback at Ohio State. I don't think no one's just going to come in and take his spot. You got to really be him to take his spot. The way he gets the ball off before the blitzes come. I mean, everything he does, it's like in poetry in motion. And I haven't seen that out of Ohio State QB in a long time. And I think City League TV, he'll understand what I mean. Just being able to get rid of the ball before you get hit, pressure, any of that stuff. I mean, this kid is special, man.
Yeah, I really like that the way Ohio State played defensively for sure. But when the offense needed to make some things happen in the second half, the play caller, Hartline, and his quarterback started to make some things go. And you got another 100-yard day, I believe, out of Bo Jackson. When you got a true freshman going out there balling out like that, man, in your running back room, and being able to give Donaldson his touches when it's appropriate, I thought was really good offensive play calling by Ohio State in the second half. But kudos to Washington because they held a really, really good Ohio State offense to 7 points at halftime. And I thought that they came ready to play. They just ran out of gas, too, because their offense really couldn't do nothing against that Ohio State defense. But shout out to Ohio State. They are really looking like they are the best team in the country. The way they've been playing, you've seen everybody else look a little shaky. You haven't seen them look shaky yet. So kudos to them.
Hey, Ryan Day, if I'm not mistaken, is like 10-0 or something undefeated. Ryan Day is undefeated coming off of a bye week in the regular season. When he has time to game plan and get ready for that team, he's coming out successful. Now, Washington got a little lucky on that punt return that IG fumbled. You know, that was the main reason for no points getting scored in that first quarter. And it really could have started getting ugly early. But man, when I just go look at the stat leaders and I see my red shirt freshman quarterback 22 for 28, 208, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. Then I go to the running back leader. I see my true freshman Bo Jackson 17 for 80. You know what I mean? That's 4 yards a pop. And then I go down to the wide receiver position and I see my true sophomore Jeremiah Smith with 8 for 81 and a tutty. I'm just looking at how young my Ohio State Buckeyes are. Like, I'm not sure that America really understands the movement that's going on right now here in Columbus. Because then I go over to that defensive side of the ball. I say, okay, I got a senior at the corner spot. I got a senior at the linebacking spot. And as far as that front line, ain't no seniors there. This is a young Buckeye team, America. You guys are about to witness something beautiful. Y'all gonna witness something beautiful. And guess what? We just getting started. We just getting started. And guess what? We learned the system. We know the system. We just playing cupcake offense and defense. We just running cupcake offensive and defensive plays because we can't show y'all everything that we got. Like, we've learned that. So we're doing just enough to get by and just keep getting better each week. Just keep getting better each week. Keep that that attitude that you have defensively once they get inside that 20-yard line. Like, keep that attitude because that's just carried over from last year, and now it's a standard. Once we get down here, it got to be. We can't let them get in here, and they still holding that standard up high. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure that y'all understand or know how young this Ohio State football team is. And with this NIL, it may also not be a rush to get to the NFL. Might as well make this little bit of good, smooth money before I get up out of here and go into adulthood. Can't leave none on the table. I'm loving it, baby.
Invite.
Yeah. KT said, T1, enough is enough.
It ain't never enough when you're talking about them Buckeyes. Y'all know, hey, look, y'all know I just cut it short.
Got the grandbaby in there. Good morning, grandbaby. Your family, you don't even know it.
What did y'all think about Auburn traveling to College Station to play number 9 Texas A&M 10-16 game? We thought that that offense at Texas A&M would be able to do some things against this Auburn defense, but it was a really, really good contest, man. Two really, really gritty teams. What did y'all think about that contest? And is Auburn better than what we think, even though they lost 2 in a row? You can go last, SEC, Sean.
I think Auburn kind of is reminding me of it's going to be weird to say this because of where Notre Dame was at last year. This is a new season. Auburn has made some moves. We know what they possess, and they've been playing a heck of a schedule already. So I'm going to say this Auburn team is pretty good with these 2 losses. And the reason I say that, this game could have went either way. I thought Texas A&M had this in the bag until that crazy, bizarre play happened at the end with the interception, which was just kudos to Auburn continuing to fight. But this Texas A&M team, if they can keep the consistency on that offense, I was texting Sean about this. I told him if they can stay consistent, they could be a dangerous team in that SEC. The defense can play, and it's just consistency. I think that's where we at with quite a few teams, but just being ready to play each week. And this goes to show a great coaching game, not to give up on that side of coaching when that play happened at the end of the game and just push and just come out with a tough win. That's what you get nowadays, especially at this point in the season in the SEC. Tough wins, got to grind them out, and some games going to be like that. Win is a win, especially in this time.
I would like to see, and I would like to know if Texas A&M is for real, because they actually have a chance. And if they are for real, I think that they have a schedule to where when they get down there to Texas, they could possibly, maybe still be undefeated, maybe have no more than just 1 loss on their schedule. which will definitely and automatically put them into that college football playoff. So I would just like to know how real they are, and Auburn really doesn't move the barometer for me. So I don't know how much I could look into that game and say, okay, Texas A&M ready. But I think Texas A&M is ready, definitely more ready than Auburn. So I just like to know if they're for real. And when SEC Sean get there, maybe he may, enlighten me on some more things that I don't know about A&M. But good win for A&M, because right now every win is important. Every conference win is important. So, and regardless of if you win by 1 point or 37, every last one of these babies is important, and I don't care who you playing. So, good win for A&M.
Yeah, whenever you get in conference play, man, you're going to get the other team's best shot. Auburn got talent on their team, so of course they're going to come to play. They're going to come to play hard. And I think that they gave Texas A&M the kind of contest that Texas A&M needed to have on Saturday. And I think we also got to see what SEC Sean was saying about his Texas A&M team. If they can put their defense together, they're going to be really, really hard to beat. And they played some really, really good defense yesterday. They held Auburn to 10 points, a really good rushing team. And I think that Texas A&M showed us by winning that game, going on the road, I believe, to beat Notre Dame, and then pulling out a victory yesterday against a good Auburn team who was hungry, who lost last week, who was ready to try to right the ship. I think that they got Auburn's best shot, and they pulled out with the victory. So I kudos to Texas A&M. I think they're a really, really good team in the SEC. After seeing everything we saw yesterday in conference play, I think Texas A&M is definitely one of the teams that the SEC is going to have to be looking out for, because they're playing some really good football right now.
I knew this game was going to be crazy. These two teams play games like this every year. Auburn can be 0-5 or A&M can be 0-5 and the other team 5-0. It's going to be a tough. These two teams, just the styles. They both play good defense. I mean, Auburn was rotating 12 guys on the D-line yesterday. There's not many schools that can rotate 12 deep and not lose production. Our running game got going. I was happy to see that. We were balanced. Ran for 207, threw for 207. The one interception, that's not on Marcel Reed. That was the dumbest play call in the history of Texas A&M athletics. 3rd and 1, you've got a running back going for 6.6 yards a carry, and you won't throw a bubble screen. High, and it tipped, and he caught it. Now, I like the fight from the wide receivers, tracking him down. You realize when that play happened that Auburn, in the second half, Auburn had 71 yards of offense, and that play was 73.
Okay.
So, yeah, that interception return A&M gave them 1 yard of offense in the fourth quarter on 11 plays.
Timeout. Was the interception return, was that for a touchdown, Sean?
No, he tackled him at the 2.
No.
Mario
okay. But it basically gave them their only touchdown.
Right.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't even that close then.
No, it was worse than that, because at the end of the game, we threw a touchdown pass to Craver. We had a lineman 4 yards down the field, so that came back. Okay. We had a deep ball to Casey Concepcion that was overthrown by 2 yards. There's another 7 off the board. So this game wasn't even really this good. I knew going in that we were going to have to play clean because of all the controversy last week with Oklahoma and Auburn and the refs. These refs, the ref had to go to the hospital for his elbow from throwing so many flags. We had 13 penalties at home for 119 yards.
Hey, one thing I can say about those SEC refs, they know how to throw flags, because I know every time they're out there officiating a Big Ten game, you just be like, my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, they sure enough know who to throw the flags on, and they throw them babies.
Yeah, they do, man. Is A&M legit? That was the question. I don't know yet. I like what I see. I like the mentality of the team better than I have in previous years. Going on the road, winning at Notre Dame. I was telling this yesterday on an Aggie chat I have going with some guys on Twitter, X, whatever. We can win games in multiple ways. We've won shootouts, and we've won defense, line it up, strap on your work boots, and win a defensive struggle. That's huge moving forward for Mike Elko while he's trying to build the culture and build the program. We all know that A&M has the money and to go get who they want, what they want.
Yeah, y'all got that big. Y'all got that money.
But why hasn't it translated? See, that's where, and I think Elko's changing that culture. We're going to see. I mean, I like our schedule for the next few weeks. You know, we're home with Mississippi State, which is a tricky game. They look a lot better than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
We got Florida. Now we get Florida after they play Texas, so we'll know more about what's going on with Florida by then. Then we go to Arkansas. That should be 3 wins right there. We should be 7-0 going into LSU.
Yeah.
And then that game is LSU and A&M have split the last 14 times, 7-7.
Who won last year?
A&M did. That was the game where we put Marcel Reed
Oh,
in.
that ain't good.
But they split home and home. So whoever's at home has won for the past, you know. And then you get Missouri, South Carolina, and then Texas at the end of the season. I mean, handle your business in the games you should handle. Even if you drop a game to an LSU or even a Texas, a 10-2 team with a win over Notre Dame on the road probably gets in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Y'all definitely have a schedule. Y'all have a schedule that's set up to show that okay, here's our NIL money at work, and y'all really should be in those playoffs. Looking at the schedule right now, and if y'all are even close to just being to that level that y'all want to be at, and y'all's money that y'all have say that y'all should be up there. Y'all should be in the top 12 every single year, playing for an opportunity to be called national champions.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's no resources that we don't have that other schools do have. Mm-hmm. Our resources are just as good as an Ohio State. They're just as good as Texas. It's all you.
And y'all got that good, and that weather beautiful down there, and it's beautiful weather.
Well,
man,
it's a little hot.
Hey, somebody think hot is beautiful.
Well,
some people think hot is better than cold.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. I mean, I need to see this defense. Like I said, the defense looked really good yesterday. I just don't think Auburn's offense is any good at all. All Jackson Arnold can do is chunk it up to Cam Coleman and Hope, and A&M just rotated the safety over the top and doubled him the whole game.
Yeah.
Took him away. And then just released that pass rush. We weren't even blitzing. We were rushing with 3 and 4 guys and getting them down. Something's not right with Auburn. And I'll go back to I don't ever trust a Hugh Freeze coach team. Just don't like Hugh Freeze. I think he chokes way too much. He like James Franklin.
I'm gonna say this real quick about A&M. I'll be done with this one, but if A&M doesn't make the college football playoffs, you probably should be devastated. Come the end of the season, if they don't make the playoffs, I mean that would be like a real live big letdown. Looking at the schedule and moving forward to me.
Yep, it would be. So, I mean, I've got my sights set on it. Like I said, we should handle the next 3 weeks pretty decent. Or, you know, and then we'll see when the back half of our schedule is where it gets loaded. We'll know more at that point. I mean, we could roll in and beat LSU the way they look, though.
Absolutely.
You beat LSU, and you probably guarantee yourself maybe hosting in the first round.
Well, they was really close last year. They was right there, so they had an opportunity.
Fell apart.
So I think they'll be right there again. I really agree with you, SEC Sean, on the fact that I believe Mike Elko is the guy for the job, man. I really do. And that's what's been missing from them is a guy who can bring in the right culture with all that talent. And I think he's the one to be able to do it. Okay, great time. Let's look at that number 17, Alabama 24 over number 5 Georgia 21 in Athens. I think it's clear to say, or this, and I believe it's probably true at this point. Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem for sure.
And y'all call him the best. Y'all was on here calling him the best coach in college football yesterday. That's why I changed my pick. Who helped me change my pick yesterday? I was so happy when I changed my pick yesterday to Bama. Thank you. I appreciate you, Rob. I appreciate you. All of that. He the best college coach out here. Madness. But it looked like it was just a whole bunch of fireworks in the first half and nothing happened in the second half. So I don't know what happened here in this game. So maybe y'all enlighten me with that one. But I'm glad Alabama pulled it off. But they're still gonna. Georgia is still gonna somehow. There's some way. They got that NIL money, which almost guarantees them a spot in that playoff, and they have a favorable schedule.
For me in this game, I think Bama really played well. From the quarterback, having Jam Miller back, I think having Jam Miller back played a big part in Alabama's win. Getting him the ball. Sampson's not getting enough credit, even in a Heisman talk. I think this game definitely put him in a Heisman talk. Alabama lost that first game, of course, to my Seminoles. Been playing lights out football since. Sampson's probably one of the top quarterbacks in college football since that game, even after that game, statistically, but just how he's leading this Alabama team. I'm going to say Alabama is back. Kirby might not be able to get Bama, but I think he's still top college football coach right now. But the question is going to be, what do Georgia do after this Alabama loss? We've seen what they did last year, but last year was last year. A lot of things is out the window. New season. I think this puts Alabama in a different position, possibly even top 10 with everything that happened over the weekend. This was just a big win.
Yeah, I think it was a really, really good win for Alabama yesterday to go on the road to beat a really good Georgia team yesterday. I think that the wide receivers for Alabama, those guys are really, really good. That number one, you got Williams, you got Bernard, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Those guys are tough, man. They can do a lot of stuff with those guys. And I think that they're going to be a really, really tough team to beat. As more and more Ty Simpson gets up under his belt, the more and more experience he gets, the better this Alabama team is going to be. I still think they got some question marks on their defense, though. And I think that once they get rolling and they get that defense together, they can be a really tough team to beat in the SEC. Georgia, on the other hand, they got to get some things figured out with their wide receiver core because their wide receivers didn't look that great yesterday. I like their running game, though. They were able to run the ball pretty effectively on Alabama. That was mainly the main thing they were able to do in that game. I think in the future, Georgia will be able to get some things fixed with Gunnar Stockton. He was able to throw pretty decently yesterday. But they're going to need more out of him in the future if Georgia's going to make it back to the SEC championship game, which if I had to make a prediction right now, I would say that Georgia is not going to make the SEC championship game or the college football playoffs for that matter, because I think there's going to be some other teams in the SEC that may have Georgia on the outside looking in.
Georgia's schedule won't allow them to lose many more games.
Right.
They got Kentucky and Auburn next. So there's 2 get-right games.
And then I think Ole Miss, who we know that control Ole Miss.
Ole Miss beat them last year.
So they definitely ain't going to get them 2 times in a row.
Right. And this one's in Georgia. So, and then they got Mississippi State, then Texas, and then the bye week, and then Georgia Tech. I don't see Georgia losing. They might lose one maybe to Ole Miss or maybe even a Texas.
Don't be surprised about Mississippi State. They're going to come to play this year.
They're not losing more than 2 games.
Right. That's where I'm at. They lost 1 to Bama, and they may get 1 more loss, and a 10-2 Georgia team is always going to make the playoffs.
Always.
Alabama, first off, whoever keeps saying Kirby Smart is the best coach in football is an idiot. You had 4th and 1 on you had the 4th and 1 on the 10-yard line to kick a field goal to tie the game. And you went for it and got tripped up, and that was the game. That was I get being aggressive. And if you're going to go for it on 4th and 1, why are we running a sweep to the outside and not even blocking anybody? We're just letting the D-line come through. Why aren't we just lining up with that running back and just right up the gut? And let's just my big guys are better than your big guys. I just didn't understand that at all. It is what it is. Bama has Georgia's number because they start fast, and Georgia is not built to play from behind like that. I mean, they did it against Tennessee, but I don't think Tennessee's defense is near as good as everybody likes to think.
They are not good at all.
I don't know. I think Georgia's offense just does not look. Something's not right. I mean, yeah, they ran the ball fine, but they only threw for 130 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home, nation's longest home winning streak. A night game. We all know night games, like any college, are crazy, can be insane. And you didn't show up. You let Bama jump out 14-0. Yeah, it was better than last year, but it's still 14-0. Coming back from 14 points on Alabama is not going to be easy, no matter who you are. And they got their stuff fixed, which, I mean, that looks better for Florida State, too, because Florida State beat them. And now Bama looks like they're rolling back into Bama again now. Bama's got a brutal schedule.
Yeah, they do.
4 of their next 6 games are all ranked in the top 20.
And they didn't score in the second half, so
nope,
something's wrong with that. I mean, that's something that Georgia can lean on going in, and I know Georgia's kicking itself upside the head for losing that game. Mm-hmm. I know that they're highly disappointed, and I probably think that that's going to take them on into the rest of the season to where they probably shouldn't lose another game because they know well enough they shouldn't have lost that game.
Yep, that's what I have. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, anybody can trip up anybody, you know that, from week to week. But I don't know that Bama's not going to drop another game or 2 with that schedule.
Bama can easily drop 2 more games.
Right.
So I would put my money on Bama not making the playoffs before Georgia. I'll tell you that much.
And I can tell you if that happens, them Alabama people are going to lose their mind with that coach.
Man, hey, the way things are going, both of them could end up getting left out. As Rob said earlier, how, some of these teams that are undefeated now, they keep on going the way they're going. They're going to be above the Alabama and Georgia.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be a strange playoff without seeing Bama or Georgia in it.
Hey, things are changing. Bless you, little baby. Yeah, things are changing, man. The playing field leveling out a little bit. So yeah.
What did y'all think about that number 6 Oregon 30, that number 3 Penn State 24 in overtime? Oregon gets that win. What did y'all think about this game? We know Franklin has not been able to win big games. His record shows that. What mistakes did they make that they weren't able to pull out this victory against Oregon?
I, I don't know. On this one, this was a weird game. It was like 3-3 late in the third quarter. And then, like, everybody woke up. I don't know what's going on. Like you said, James Franklin just cannot win a big game. That stadium is not one of the easiest ones to play in when them kids are all going crazy with that wide out and all that. And they just don't show up. I mean, they came back. That game should have been over. I mean, Oregon kind of played around and let them back in the game when they were up 17-3. And then of course Oregon wins in the end. I don't know what's up with Penn State. They didn't play anybody. They were ranked number 3, but they had played absolutely nobody. So, I mean, that's what I don't get. This is like their first real challenge, and they just, messed up the bed.
Dropped it at home.
So it's a Big Ten team we talking about, but Penn State was a team we all figured out and wanted to know about. Oregon just showed, like weeks ago when we talked about having Penn State ahead of them, why they are ahead of Penn State. DK squared is what I'm gonna call them. Corey and Moore, Dante Moore, they're a problem for college football. One of the elite freshmen in college football. I'm gonna go ahead and say that now. Get that out the way. We gotta watch this Oregon team. They won the Big Ten last year. They're slowly but surely looking like they could try to put some force in trying to repeat that. But I know Ohio State and winning that Natty coming in as they are, they respectively have something to say about that Big Ten this year as well too. So we gotta, recognize Oregon. I know I spoke about it a few weeks ago about them being lower than what some thought, but this Oregon team is really a great team, and seeing them win one in Happy Valley, you got to give them credit, man.
Man, I'm kind of disgusted in Penn State's offensive coordinator, man. Drew Aller cannot have all of this hype, and you wait all day to start getting this guy to throw the football down the field. You are not doing him any good when it comes down to NFL scouts looking at him. If you don't allow this guy to throw the ball down the field, you cannot keep defenses honest if you don't throw the ball down the field. Now, he did start to throw the ball down the field, but that got to be from start to finish. You got a running game and 2 running backs that are out of this world. You mean to tell me that the freaking run game cannot set up the throw over the top? That got to be in your arsenal, man. And they all last year, this guy wasn't throwing passes over 20 yards. He started off this year not throwing the ball over 20 yards. Now, he did it a little bit in this game. But that got to be all the time. You don't see teams that got a so-called good quarterback not throwing the ball down the field, keeping teams honest. Even if you don't think he can hit it, you at least got to do it to make them safeties stay back, where you can at least do what your bread and butter is, and that's to run the football. I can't believe that they didn't do that. They had an opportunity to take advantage of some things against Oregon in this game, but then they allowed Oregon to jump out to a 17-3 lead because they didn't do so. And I agree with Donnell. Penn State starts off super slow. They need to stop starting off super slow because that could be a crutch and a killer for you as well. And he said Oregon went into the portal and recruited some big boys to play on the O-line. Them boys playing great. And USC need to understand that. Washington needs to understand that. And UCLA need to understand that too. But I don't know if they're going to get to that point because they don't have the resources to do so. But those 3 other teams, Washington and USC and Oregon, they got to make sure that they keep their trenches together. Otherwise, they are not going to be able to win championships if they don't got the offensive and defensive lines. They got to get that going. And you're right, Oregon got the bread. They're going to make sure that happens because they understand where they're at now. They understand they're in the Big Ten, and they got to have that in order to win. And I think this Oregon team has some holes in it, but until they play somebody who can exploit them, they're going to continue to win. And that was a good win by them on the road in Happy Valley yesterday. What's your take, T1?
A great win for Oregon to go into Happy Valley in that whiteout environment and to come out with a win. That's a double win. You know, that is just an extremely hard place to play. But we know when Penn State get into some of these whiteout games, their underwears go up their butt cracks. And it's like, what's wrong with them? Like, what's wrong? Y'all appear to have everything that y'all need to be successful. What's the problem? You know, you took Ohio State's defensive coordinator, put him over there, so they like, bam, we done fixed it. But here we go again. It's the same thing. And now Penn State in trouble. They in trouble. They still gotta go to Ohio State, and then right after Ohio State, they got Indiana. They could not be going back to the college football playoffs. Penn State is in trouble.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was thinking the same thing. They might not get into the playoffs this year. That's a tough few weeks they got to, stretch out for. This Indiana is going to be a big one too. So, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's switch gears and talk a little bit of NFL news and some games out there. We got a battle of the winless teams, the Titans, and at the Houston Texans. The Texans are favored by 7 in this game. The over and under is 39.5. What's your thoughts on this game? Which one of these teams will get the win? And if you don't say the Titans, it's okay. I ain't gonna be mad at you for about 30 seconds.
Man, timeout. I'm mad I didn't have my TV on. Ain't nobody said nothing. I knew that the game was on. I got to put my TV on up. So what is it, halftime?
No, second quarter, 14-3 Pittsburgh. I'm watching it now.
Yeah, it was in the chat. You just probably didn't see it.
Man, it's early. No, I knew that it was on and everything. I've been up since like 7 this morning. I don't get up that early on the weekend. So that's why I'm here and I'm up and ready to roll. Y'all know me. So.
Yeah. I think they all hanging out with the birds. They had the breakfast thing going on this morning. The Pittsburghs. I think I'm going Tennessee. I think your boys could get one, man. I like Cam Ward. I mentioned that y'all don't have that number one target. But I see what people mean in Calvin Ridley. He's trying to form himself into being that number one target. And I think when we talk about number one targets, it's having that that superstar, that mega all-world wide receiver that you see a lot of teams have. But Ridley is getting the job done with what they have. I think this Tennessee team can get a win. Houston trying to find themselves. There's been a lot of talks about this Houston team. So I'm going with the Tennessee Titans today to get them a win and Cam Ward to have a heck of a game today in Houston, for sure.
Just because it's in Houston, I'll go with Houston. I'm not real sure on this one. I mean, Houston should win this game, but they're like just can't score. They settling for field goals. It's not going to win you football games. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't see any reason Houston shouldn't win this game. With also being at home is a real reason I'm going with Houston in this. But I'd probably take the under if I was betting on this game because I don't know that they can get 20 points apiece.
Yeah, Rob, I wish I could help you here, man. I really do. Just I wish that I could just be by your side to support you with this one. Like y'all gonna get this one, but you know my QB over there, and he needs a win bad because they're almost about ready to get CJ up out of there. You know how they don't play with them quarterbacks if you get to starting to look like you can't get us no wins. And you know, CJ is struggling right now. He's struggling and they need this win bad. So I'm gonna have to go with the Titans here.
You going with the Titans or the Texans?
My fault. The Texans, my fault.
Yeah, this is a game, man, where I feel like Tennessee, who doesn't have the greatest of offense, they got some pieces though, and like you said, Mossberg, Calvin really got to step in and be that number one. Man, he dropped too many passes though. He's got to step up and be that number one. It's going to be Tennessee's offense against the Texans defense. Can they do enough? Because the Texans offense has not been playing good at all. And even though the Titans defense isn't very good, they might be going up against an offense that's really not very good either. And that might help them a lot in this game. I'm going to pick the Texans to win simply like my man SEC Sean said, they're at home. So I think they can get the win because they're at home. But don't think for 1 second that Cam Ward and those Titans are not going to come in there offensively and try to do some things. They ain't got nothing to lose. They're already, 0-3. But they've been able to score at least 20 points in every game so far this year. And they played a really good Broncos team. They played a really good Rams team. And last week, who they played last week? Whoever they played last week put it on them too. The Colts. And so I think they ended up scoring 20 points on the Colts too. I think that this Titans team can score enough points to win this game. Will they? I don't know. But I think the Texans will win, but they ain't winning by that 7, that's for sure. It's going to be closer than that. Might come down to a last-second field goal by either one of those kickers to win this game. What's your thoughts on the battle of these undefeated teams? You got the 3-0 Eagles are favored by 3.5 traveling to Tampa Bay to play on the Buccaneers. The over and under is 43.5. Who gets this win and stays undefeated?
I've been thinking about it all week. I'm going Tampa Bay. The reason I'm gonna go Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield has been him. And when I say that, a lot of people don't. A couple years ago, they counted him off. He's done nothing but taking this Tampa Bay organization to the playoffs and more. I think this is a game where he gets this win over these Eagles, and I think it makes the Eagles go back to some things and draw up because them being at this 3-0, coming in from the Super Bowl, I think is kind of some things that we sit back like, man, how they 3-0, but they are. I think Tampa Bay wakes them up and let them know that you can be beat. And with Godwin coming back, Ibuka playing the way he is, and even though Evans being out, with Tampa Bay being at home, I think that's the difference maker in this big showdown, possibly the game of the week as well. Just my opinion.
I'm going with Philly. I'm going with Philly. I think Philly has found that championship drive and knows what it takes to get there, and I feel like they're still rolling like that, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to win this game. So give me the Eagles.
I'm going Eagles on this one. I think Mike Evans being out hurts Tampa Bay more than anything. I mean, That's like Mayfield's safety blanket. Chunk it up to Mike, kind of what Johnny Manziel used to do. Just throw it and let Mike go get it. But I just think the Eagles, I think their defense is going to make the plays they need to play. I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Eagles make a play at the end, pull the game out.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles as well. I feel like whenever you got a running attack like they have, they're able to control some things and make some things happen in the passing game because of how good their running game can be. And I think that their defense is going to play a lot better than some of the other defenses have played against the Buccaneers, where the Buccaneers have been able to score some points with Baker Mayfield. And with Evans being out, that's a big concern as well. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game today. I just think the Eagles are a really, really tough team to beat, especially when their defense got all of their parts. They're going to be a really tough team to beat. And I don't think Tampa Bay wins today. I think the Eagles stay undefeated and move on to 4-0. Can the Browns defense slow down the Detroit Lions offense today and get another victory, or will Detroit win a really close game?
Man, it's been a crazy weekend, man. I'm going to go with Joe Brown's City League T1 to slow this Lions offense down because I'm going against Uncle Brown today in the fantasy league. So I need Joe Brown's defense to step up big time. But this Browns defense is great, man. I think, when you have Wars at the corner, knowing that they want to throw the ball, I think he'll be on St. Brown pretty much majority of the game. And you got that Myles Garrett coming in as a rusher. I think they can slow this offense down, man. I mean, they done it against Cincinnati. They're not the number one defense for no reason. And I'm going to take the Browns to win.
I'm going to take it. I know Cleveland. Cleveland's got a great defense. I just think Detroit's got too much firepower for them. I think the Cleveland defense is going to keep them in most games. I just think Detroit has too many weapons to get the ball to move it around enough, and I don't have any faith in Cleveland offense at all. Just not fond of them. I mean, Flacco's your quarterback, and he's got 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Not a good stat line. So,
and we didn't need that one from you either, SEC Sean. We didn't need that one right there. You could have kept that one.
It has to be, though. But I do like Myles Garrett. I gotta like that kid.
No, I'll go.
Did you already go, Rob?
No, I'm gonna go. Then you can go last.
Yeah. I didn't know if you went already when you started. Go ahead.
I really need the Detroit Lions to play really, really well today. Like Mossberg said, I got him in the fantasy game today, and I got Gibbs, Montgomery, and I got St. Brown on my team. I need all them dudes to eat. They're not going to eat like they normally would, but I need them to eat enough. But that Browns defense, man, is not going to give you a whole lot. I think Detroit's going to win this game simply because the Browns' offense is atrocious, bro. It is atrocious, man. You can't have a 90-year-old quarterback back there, man, thinking you're going to win games against a good quality football team. I think they need to go ahead and give those young boys an opportunity to play. I know they feel like they can probably win this division because of how great their defense is. But they need to give them young boys a chance, man. And if they're not going to do it today, I don't think they're going to win. So I'm going with Detroit to win, but I think that the Browns' defense will limit their offense for sure.
Yeah, man, this thing, it can go either way, man. That's what I've discovered so far now. As long as we have Joe Flacco at that quarterback position, I mean, we know that defense is going to play great, but they can only play great for so long, and we need for the offense to be able to produce some points. And, Flacco's having a hard time doing that. He's produced more interceptions than touchdowns. And, that's just the wrong direction. And it's just so unfair to that defense, which is already, we're just 3 games in, and that defense is playing at an extremely high level right now. So I'm looking to see it carry over into that Silver Dome or whatever that place is called up there in Detroit. This is a good rivalry game, and man, we're gonna be on that turf. So I'm looking for that defense to be playing even faster. So sorry, Rob, about your fantasy points and stuff. I mean, it's a good chance that you don't eat, but then again, it's a good chance that you see they're coming late in the third, and then in the fourth quarter, you see your players starting to eat a little bit and get some money because that defense is now just they tired. They've been holding off this juggernaut of an offense for 2-3 quarters, and you can only hold on for so long. So, like I said, it can go either way, man. It could be a close game or it could be a blowout. So, I definitely have Detroit, but probably would go on points.
Mossberg, can you control the chat for me? I got to take my grandson to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, I got you. So for the last one, for the next question we have, Lamar versus Mahomes. Who you got in this one?
Man, that's a good one right there. Something going on in Baltimore. Something is going on in Baltimore, and they're not looking right. They're not looking like the Baltimore that we've gotten used to seeing. Kansas City. I don't know if something's there, something wrong there too. I think their games have been a little closer. But man, this is one heck of a game right here, and I'm gonna have to go with the home team. Just because I'm just going with the home team. Then you see they had a -2.5. That's just basically the pick 'em. I would never go anywhere near that, and probably on the under. I probably would hit the under over here. You might see neither one of these offenses just explode. So
Being played in Baltimore.
Huh?
This one is in Baltimore this week or Kansas City?
Nah, this in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. It's in KC.
It's gonna be a tough one. What's your thoughts on this one, Sean?
Both underachieving. When was the last time you seen Baltimore and that defense give up 40 points a game?
Dang.
41 to Buffalo, 40 to Detroit, and 38 last week.
Oh shoot, Sean! I might have to change that and say go get that over. Then this might be a high scoring shootout.
I would take the over on this one, easy. But then again, do they fix it? Do Baltimore get back to playing defense? So I don't know. And Kansas City just looks a little lost. But I mean, I think they're starting to get their receivers back too, though. So, they haven't been really healthy yet. And, we all know that when you go in the NFL and you've gone that deep in the playoffs every year, there is a little layover effect to it. You going to the Super Bowl every year, it makes the season so much longer for you. Yeah. Not that that's an excuse. These dudes are paid very well to play ball, but there's got to be something to it. Plus, didn't they travel down to Brazil? Did they go down there this year? Right?
Yeah.
Was that this year? I mean, I don't know. Something just don't look right in Kansas City, but I'd probably take Lamar to win the battle of these two. I have a little bit more faith in Baltimore's offense than I do Kansas City's right now, but I don't have any faith in their defense. But defense can be fixed, maybe.
Yeah, man, it was a tough one for me because, like you said, man, both teams being 0-3. When you have two quarterbacks, we talking about Lamar Jackson and we talking about Patrick Mahomes. Both teams 0-3 right now. You know, so for me, I'm leaning towards Lamar Jackson.
They're actually both 1-2.
1-2. I thought they was 0-3. I don't know why. It's just been that crazy
one.
of a season. So for me, with that, just knowing that Derrick Henry could come out, I think, and control that football. That's been the biggest thing for me, being attentive to that. Seeing how it's not that he's careless, it's just they're trying to take that ball any and every way. I think he settles in with that. I think he comes out, he plays, and he has another big game. But I think that over is definitely going to be reachable. It's going to be a shootout in Kansas City. You're talking about Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. So I definitely think that over. But I'm going with Lamar. I think he still has something to prove. I think that dynasty that we've seen in Kansas City is over with. I think it's done with. It's over with. Jalen Hurts showed the world that last year, and the mauling that they put down on him. So coming into the season, I wasn't high on Kansas City being a great team. Playoffs were not that great. So I'm going with Lamar Jackson, and I think Baltimore can get the win as well. What's your thoughts on this with WTP Sports Dudes? Lamar versus Mahomes. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm taking Lamar as well, man. I just think Lamar's playing at a really, really high level. Even though they've lost a couple of games, man, that were really close, I just think he's playing on a really high level. I think that they got the running game that they need. Kansas City's defense has not been playing well. Patrick Mahomes has not had the weapons that he normally has. They don't have really much of a running game. They don't really have much of a pass rush. And I think that Lamar is he's just playing on a higher level, man, than Mahomes right now, even though Mahomes is still one of the greatest quarterbacks of all times. I think he's going to be really solid probably in this game. But I think Baltimore is just, I think, a better team right now than Kansas City. And I think Lamar Jackson is playing better football right now than Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going with Lamar.
Yeah, Donnell said he was going with Lamar as well. And he said the Chiefs is not getting them calls like they used to. We've seen a couple of those instances this year where I think they thought they was going to get them calls, but they didn't. So I can attest and agree to that a little bit. Then the last question that we had on the slate was, is it time for Russell Wilson to retire after the Giants decide to start the rookie Jackson Dart? What's your thoughts on this one? You muted, T1.
I mean, just had a great game against the Cowboys. Like, probably one of his best games ever. So, seeing something like that, it ain't over. Something's still in there. But, no, it's not over. And they just want to see what they have with their rookie. I'm quite sure if the rookie goes in there and it doesn't look good, I'm quite sure they're not going to hesitate to pull him up out of there. But yeah. No, go ahead.
I don't know about retire, but I mean, he's at that point in his career where if he goes to another team, he's not going to, unless he goes like in a trade to a contender for a backup. But other than that, he's going to go to one of these other teams to help mentor a young kid. So, I mean, if I'm the Giants, what do you have to lose? You got the kid, let him play, see what happens. You have to see what you have. I feel the same way with the Browns. you've got these young quarterbacks. Let's see what we got. You know, you don't draft them to sit on.
Hey, SEC Sean, is there any chance that we can possibly swap out Flacco for Russ in Cleveland? Because I'll take Russ right now in Cleveland.
I would be on if I'm the Browns GM, I'm on the phone with New York. Hey, if y'all are going to play dark,
let me get him up off of you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll throw you Flacco just to back up. If you get the backup,
I mean, all they can do is say no.
That's it. That's all they can do.
So I mean, but if you're the Giants, this makes perfect sense. You're not gonna, go to the playoffs this year. You need to figure out what you've got in this kid, so do we need to get a quarterback next year, or do we have our quarterback? You've got to figure it out, but you can't figure it out with him sitting on the bench. I mean, everybody can look good against practice, but I don't know. I don't think he should retire. I think he's still got some game with him.
Yeah, I think if he decides he's just going to go ahead and adopt a backup role wherever he ends up. I mean, he's with the Giants now, wherever he might end up next year. As long as he has the mindset that I know I'm going to just be a backup quarterback, go ahead and keep on collecting that bread. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need leaving the game if there's still some bread on the table. But at some point, he's going to have to retire. And if he thinks he's going to be a starting quarterback in this league, then he should go ahead and retire, because that's not going to happen. But if you still want to collect some checks as a backup, go get that money, man. Keep getting it. But he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Neither should Joe Flacco be a starting quarterback.
We'll take him in Cleveland, please. Please give us a rest.
Yeah,
real quick, Moss B.
Yeah.
I think that New York should have waited to next week to bring him out. I don't think they should have bought him out against the Chargers. I think they should have waited next week and bought him out against New Orleans to try to make it a little easier for him, because them Chargers, they going to charge after him. They going to come after him and try to see if they can get him all the way shook up, and he's going to try to see if he can bust through it. And they say, I think we have us one. So, but I would have waited until that New Orleans game to bring him out. I would have let Russ get his first half, and if it didn't go so well, go ahead and turn it over in the second half. I wouldn't have had him just starting right off the rip, first snap against this Charger defense. I would have let Russell do it, let him sit and watch the game and see how it's flowing and how it's going, and say, okay, buddy, here you go. Here go the keys, baby.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely should be someone should have started next week, like you said, against New Orleans, as well as you said, WTP. And when it comes to him not being a starter, this is something they should have already had to figuring things out. But for me, if they talking about Russell Wilson retire, you still got Aaron Rodgers over there leading the Pittsburgh Steelers up right now, 14-3. They got to be out of their mind. Like, they got to let him just be that veteran on the sideline and, coach and teach someone something that can help in their development and getting better. So, I'm all for him not being a starter, but should have waited at least till next week. But, hey, they're giving Jackson Dart a shot. I would like to see him play myself, see what he can bring to the table for this young Giants offense. You never know. But shouldn't have been this week. Harbaugh going to come at him crazy, for sure. Anybody, I see you want to answer that comments you got?
Yeah. You do the one with Toby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What y'all think about this? Now, we looking at this on the screen. We're going to uncover our man SEC Sean. But Toby, that's interesting. He got number 1 Ohio State. I don't think we're going to argue that. Number 2 Oregon. He got Oregon at number 2. Miami at 3. Then he got Oklahoma at 4. Indiana at 5. Ole Miss at 6. Texas A&M
So
at 7, Texas at 8, Penn State at 9, Georgia at 10, Florida State at 11, Alabama at 12. How y'all feel about that? Where do you see some head shaking at?
Ooh, that Oklahoma with no Mateer is, I mean, that's a head shaker because they don't have Mateer for me. Then you got Indiana all the way at 5. I'm gonna let y'all have fun with this one. Appreciate your comment, Toby. It's tough to look at, like, because I really haven't analyzed mine yet. But that Oklahoma with no Mateer, Indiana at 5. You put them above Texas A&M and Texas. I don't know. All of those other teams.
Can't argue the top 3, really.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, top 3 I can deal with. I mean, if you want to leave Oklahoma that high, just because, I mean, they haven't really done anything to drop them, except we know Mateer's hurt, but they didn't play last week, so let it play out when they play the games. But I still would have dropped them down. I dropped them down in my SEC rankings last week because of that. Well, I had them up, but this week they'll be down because of the Mateer injury. I don't think Indiana should be ahead of Ole Miss for sure. You want to put Indiana ahead of A&M, I'd probably give you that one. But that would be a question I would have, Indiana or A&M. Ole Miss should be ahead of Indiana, probably ahead of Ole Miss should be probably 4. Texas, everybody. I think Texas should probably be ahead of Indiana too, but you can make an argument that those 3 are probably right. Penn State 10, I don't know. They've only played one team with a pulse, and they got beat at home. Georgia 11, maybe. I mean, there's not even an LSU. LSU should have been. I would have probably kept LSU in the top, at least 10 to 12 in that range. LSU should be on that list somewhere. That's just what I'm looking at, and it's not being SEC total. That's just, I think LSU has a really good defense. They just need to figure out their offense. I think LSU is probably one of the top 12 right now.
Who would you take out of there?
Yeah.
That's the tough part, and that's why these lists are so hard because
they.
Are you going to drop an Alabama who just went on the road and beat Georgia out of the top 12? Probably not. You're not going to drop Georgia completely out. I mean, you could. I mean, I guess you could make an argument for Florida State, but then they beat Bama. So that's why these rankings at this time of the year are so insane, because a bunch of these teams haven't played anybody. Like, I would probably take Penn State would probably be one that would come out for me just because of their lack of schedule strength. To be honest, I would probably have Penn State off that list and move everybody up 1 and put LSU at 12. That's probably what I would do. But it's a good list.
It's
a good
crazy.
List. It's a good list.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's looking like this at this point in the college football season.
Oh, my bad, Mossberg. What's your thoughts, T1?
Hey, just like SEC Sean said, these lists. I mean, everybody had. It would have been nice to have him come on and explain his list, because everybody has their reasoning for positioning teams where they have them positioned in everybody's own, top 12, and it's their opinions with it. So, and it's just hard to argue pretty much anybody's at this point. But I wouldn't have dropped LSU out. That's the only thing I'd say. I definitely wouldn't drop LSU out of there. I don't know who's going to have to come out, but I know LSU not supposed to have been a winner.
Yeah, that was.
I just don't think you can drop a team from 4 out, losing on the road to another top 15 ranked team.
Right.
I don't think you come out of the top 12 for that. I don't, just my take on it. But I mean, like I said, it's a good list. You can argue any of it. I mean, we could sit here and debate this for 2 hours. I mean, and
All right.
never come to a conclusion.
Yeah, how you feeling post game? We see you right there. How you
Dude, Paul.
feeling?
Hey man, I feel outstanding. Heck of a day for football yesterday. Man, those games were awesome. And I'm looking forward to some awesome games in the NFL today. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Great.
We're good.
Good, man. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I see the argument for LSU coming from 4 all the way, staying in the top 12. But I mean, if they got them at 13, I would be cool with that too, because defensively they're good, but offensively they haven't done much of anything offensively. What were they averaging? They're averaging less than 20 points a game scored, right? Offensively, so I don't know if they're as good as some of these teams that are there. I would probably, like SEC Sean said, I would probably put Ole Miss at 4, but you can't argue the fact that Oklahoma and Indiana are in there. Even with material out, they're undefeated teams, so you got to get in their props and get in their respect, along with Texas A&M as well. I would think they will probably be up higher than Oklahoma and Indiana as well. So I would probably have Ole Miss 4 and Texas A&M 5, because I think they're better than Oklahoma and Indiana. But the rest of it doesn't look too bad to me. I could go with that for sure. But we don't want to go past 2 hours, so that way we can still process this video without having to go through a whole bunch of cutting and splicing. Get up out of there, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Get up out of there.
Oh yeah. Anybody else got anything to say before we get out of here? Can you hit us with that famous saying you hit us with post when you come in?
I got famous saying?
Yeah, low post.
Which one?
Mid post.
Oh, okay.
High
My
post.
bad.
Come on, Moss B gonna hit you on that outside.
My bad. Oh, y'all know what it is. Low post, mid post, high post. Post game sports.
Yes, sir, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Toby, we appreciate that top 10. And you're going to have me looking at mine all day just to figure out some things. And we're going to be in the chat heating up as well, man. We appreciate you all, like we said, tuning in. City League, we appreciate what you've been doing out there on a football Friday nights, on the Thursdays, Fridays as well. We see you, nephew. We hear you. Grandpa coming. But we about to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you stay locked in and tuned in to all the channels you see at the bottom. Level Up Sports 10, WTP Sports 2, City League TV, Post Game 86, FanDuel Zay. And we got some NASCAR talk coming for you this week. I'm going to get with Mr. Sean B out of the SEC. We're going to bring that NASCAR talk to you. Outside of that, if it's anything else that y'all want to do, just make sure y'all email us respectively. And we'll definitely put some things together and come back with another banger and have that great content for you as this week goes on. May do a post-game show today. Not for sure yet, but I'm back, even though my nose lost on Friday. It's another week, and we're preparing for the Hurricanes this week. Anything you got to say to the people on?
We'll be back again on Tuesday for our Tuesday broadcast at 7:45. Where our man Sean, SEC Sean, will be breaking down his SEC power rankings. We know it's going to be some shuffling and some moving from what it was last week. We'll also have some other content on that Tuesday show. We'll be back again Thursday as well at 7:45. Wednesday at 7 for our man Parlay Poe with the dough. FanDuel Zay covers the spread. I think I said that right. Probably did.
Parlay Poe with the bread.
Yeah. So we're going to try to fill this Monday slot and this Friday slot with some content as well. So just keep checking us out. Keep on hitting that bell so that you can get notifications. And go back and check out Post Game's recap of his video he did with Notre Dame beating the mess out of Arkansas. But that's all I had. So hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy this NFL slate like we enjoyed that college football slate yesterday. And hopefully we'll be talking soon.
Yes, sir. As we always do, man. We hit y'all with the pieces. Good afternoon and enjoy your football Sunday.
Hey.
All love.